Yo, 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 what's up? And you've tuned in to another edition of Moving Forward with Dave. I'm your host, Dave. We know that. We've done this probably about 20-something times, but it's kind of like the monologue thing in the beginning, I guess. We're just going to stick with it. Today I got a couple of things on my mind that I want to talk about. Might be a little scatterbrained, might be a little bit off here and there, and, I got to make sure I can keep it under control because there's so many things. But we're just going to throw it out there, improv like I always do. So first off, what I want to talk about is the pathetic GOP in general. This party, the Republican Party, is the weakest, spineless, worm, amoeba-like party I've ever seen. You have a few fighters, such very few. The rest of them, all rhinos, pretty much Democrats. That's pretty much what they are. They don't do anything. They've been talking for years and years and years, and they don't do anything, like, ever. Have you ever seen any one of them do anything but get up in front of the camera and talk? And has anybody got anything accomplished? Like, what part of the Republican Party has gotten anything accomplished over the last, few years? Nothing. The reason why you're in the problem that we're in right now with the crumbling of America, with the absolute obliteration of freedom, is their fault. It's all their fault. While they were sitting on their hands in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, counting their money, corporate greed, all of that stuff. Your schools were being taken over. Your judicial system, the judges, have been appointed and taken over. Hollywood and pop culture was taken over. Media was being taken over. And only now are we really starting to kind of see that. I mean, we've been seeing it for the last couple of years, but we're really seeing it now, like more than ever. When you got Nicki Minaj fighting harder than your damn senator for freedom, we have a huge problem with that party. I can't get behind that party. I know people say, they're the lesser of the evils right now. Democrats are just anti-American, anti-freedom, anti-liberty. And I mean, not all of them, but man, a big, huge part of them. The one thing I have to say about Democrats is, they don't really think for themselves. They don't have the ability to actually think for themselves. Maybe the guy in West Virginia, Manchin, maybe he can think for himself. But for the most part, they don't. They follow the orders of the collective, of the head. Whatever the head says, they all do it. It's every time. It doesn't even matter if they vote against their conscience or anything. They will stick together. They will, gang up on you, pack mentality type stuff. It's evident in everything that they do. Whereas you get the GOP, they're a little bit more of, I don't want to call it free thinkers, because I think that's a disservice to people like me that are an actual free thinker. They're more of they kind of go their own way, and, I don't really want to do that, and I do want to do that, and I don't want to do that. Then they fight amongst each other, and they never can get to a consensus, and they never can actually bond hands and actually walk in the straight line and fight together. They don't do that. And that's why they lose consistently. Like, they get beat like the redheaded stepchilds that they are on a daily. I mean, it's easy to punk a Republican because he'll back down. He won't say anything. He won't do anything. He's nothing really more than kind of like a bitch, servant in a way. I mean, he doesn't fight really what their actions are a hell of a lot different than what they're saying. They can't seem to get together to make anything real happen. And when they do have the chance to make anything real happen, it's from. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. While this other party comes in a second they get in, it's like, yo, lights out. We're changing everything. What's up? Shut up. Boom, bang, 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 bang. And their agenda just kept rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. While you're sitting back and you're crying, you know, you got like these pseudo Republicans like Dan Kershaw. You know, the guy with the patch on his eye. You know, I thank you for your service and your lost eye for this country. But what you're doing in Congress right now is a disservice to the rest of us. You're not fighting for nobody. You're not saying anything. Your tweets are doing nothing because that's pretty much all you guys do is tweet. And especially that old crapbag Mitch McConnell. What a piece of shit that man is. That man can't get nothing done. Nothing done. He is the definition of an old party that consistently gets their ass whipped. We are never going to take this country back. We are never going to move anywhere forward with freedom being involved as long as you have that GOP. That GOP is garbage, trash, outdated, obsolete. Everything about it is just no good. There's no fighters. Until you take those people that we know have been there forever, especially the rhinos. I mean, the whole party's full of nothing but rhinos. They're just closet Democrats in my eyes anyway. Until you get more people like a Jim Jordan, a Ted Cruz, you know what I mean? I wasn't a big fan of Ted Cruz, but the guy seems to be fighting. You know what I mean? He seems to be in the front lines all the damn time, you know, putting his neck out there. And, you know, I appreciate that. You know, I wasn't a big fan of yours, but, you know, I thank you for fighting for us. But the rest of you scumbags, you ain't doing shit for us, man. But sitting at the dinner table with these anti-American, anti-freedom people and just letting them get away with pretty much everything that's unconstitutional because you can't do anything. You flat out are incapable of doing anything but talk. That's all you do. All I ever hear from you is blah, blah, blah. Nothing but talk. So, if you're looking for a hero in the Republican Party, I got news for you. There are none. There are no heroes in this current Republican Party. They are the enemy as well. I know that this sounds crazy. Somebody that, like me, that is constantly after these anti-woke Democrats, and I call them out all the time. I have a lot of shit to say about them because they are just truly fucking evil at points, man. But these guys are no better. These guys are pseudo fighters. They're fake. They tell you all of this stuff, and it's their freaking fault we're here. It's all their fault. We're here. And now we have nobody to fight for us. Do you think that they represent you? I mean, what Republican actually represents you as, you know, a freedom-loving person? Oh, I feel like I can't, you know, vote any other way because, you know, this and this and that. I hear you there. I hear you there. But you're not going to take over the big elections. You're not winning them. You have to go after the small elections. You have to go to your mayor. Get your Republican mayor that won't fight out. Get your Republican governor that won't fight out. Get your Chamber of Commerce Republican that won't fight out. And put people that will fight in there. We're out here. We're willing to fight. There's a lot of us out here that want to fight the correct way. We're not talking fisticuffs and, you know, shooting people and, you know, this crazy ass retarded shit that they want you to believe. No, we fight like this. We fight with facts. We fight with not backing down to your wokeness, not backing down to your mob, not backing down to your cancel culture, aka Nicki Minaj. Now, let me tell you a little something about Nicki Minaj. Now, Nicki Minaj, I am not a fan of her music. I'm really not. I mean, maybe I'm old. I guess I am, because I don't get it. You know, she's a hot little Chiquita. I'll tell you that right now. But that's about it for me. But the other day, she's on Twitter. Now, I don't follow her on Twitter, but I love her Twitter, because that place is a dumpster fire. That place is diarrhea of the fucking mouth. People, the stuff that comes out of people's mouths, man, I tell you, it is unfreaking believable. The real, true human coming out, like the nasty, evil people, the comments, they are just designed to hurt, hate-filled, fanning the flames of hatred shit. So anyway, Nicki Minaj says, you know, I know somebody that's a friend of mine in her country, in Trinidad, that took the vaccine and his testicles swelled, became impotent, and his girlfriend that was going to marry left him, and stuff like that. Now, she tweeted this. Immediately after she tweeted this, the mob came. You know, the same mob that propped her up, that she's a great example for women and, you know, women's freedom and equality and all of this. I mean, that same mob went after her relentlessly, viciously, racially, hatefully, whatever you want to call it. They called this woman every derogatory term you can possibly imagine. That thread was disgusting. All because she said, you know, her friend, you know, his testicles blew up and blah, blah, blah. Just make an educated choice before you do this. She never questioned the efficiency of the vaccine. She never questioned that you shouldn't take the vaccine. But she made that fatal error of asking a question that doesn't follow the current narrative. Now, this woman has retarded amounts of followers, and she's a big-time influencer. So what they do is they silence her immediately. They shut her down on Twitter. Then they realize, oh, fuck, all of her followers on all these other social medias found out that she's off of Twitter, and we locked her up. Man, this looks bad. So now the White House itself has to contact Nicki Minaj for her to come in so they could talk. You don't have anything better in this world to do, White House, but to call a pop star in because you don't like what she said. And she's not backing down. She's not backing down, which I'm loving that, man. You gained a fan in that respect. I'm a big fan of freedom of speech, no matter if I don't like what you say. But if you can't see what's happening with her right now, you're crazy. She's even telling you, if you can, I pull up her tweets. You can't imagine what's going on right now for just asking a question. You're demonizing people for just asking a question about this vaccine. I mean, you're not rolling this thing out real well anyway. You know, when you see people, I mean, I'm not an Emmys watcher. I haven't watched any of those let's celebrate ourselves rich shows. You know what I mean? Let's give each other an award show. I don't really watch that. But this year, you got all the stars in L.A. Fucking L.A. This is California. California.
Muzzle California, where you can't leave your house without a fucking muzzle.
That California. Well, this is in L.A. The big one. Woo, hey. Now they're all there. What? Why isn't nobody wearing masks? I thought there was a mandate that we have to wear the masks in California. Oh, well. We make exceptions for the music industry, the Hollywood acting industry and stuff like this. There are exceptions. Okay, so there are exceptions for the stars that showed up, but not their staff. Because everybody that was following these people were all wearing masks. Unbelievable. Like, the peasants are wearing the masks, but the elites, they ain't got to wear no masks at all. They don't have to wear them. Why should I wear them? I mean, let's go down to the 9/11 thing. where you had all your political hack leaders there, oh, so solemn, they're all wearing the mask and they're, oh my God, 9/11, we got it, oh my God. If you used to watch the video 5 minutes before that photo op, these guys don't have the masks on. They're out here talking, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, smacking each other, high-fiving, hugging, kissing, blah, 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 blah. Dude, it is all over the internet. It's all over. If you really want to find it, you can find it. It's that simple. You just maybe not want to find it because it fucks your narrative up. Because it really does. So this is the message that you're sending. Your messaging is terrible. Terrible. Your messaging is saying that there's rules for thee, but not for me. Why? Why? I also watched this one doctor. He's pretty good. He's on Facebook, which, God, I wish I could just delete that shit. That is the goddamn devil, that Facebook. I swear, wish I could delete that, but that's another topic. I just have a hard time because I like to throw it out there. You know what I mean? I'm not one to hide, so I always like to throw it out there. And everybody knows exactly where I'm coming from. I don't sit on the fence. You know who I am. You know exactly what I'm about. You know exactly what I'm going to say. There's no hiding. I know you know where I'm coming from. But he's talking about, bad messaging. And I get it. He was wonderful about the bad messaging. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what he said. He said, first of all, he's a vaccine pusher. He's all about you taking the vaccine. He really believes it's effective and everything like that. I'm not saying it's not either. So before you go and censor me and everything, YouTube, I'm not saying that the vaccine is ineffective. I'm saying for people that feel like they should use it and need it, because there are, you should go. Somebody like me that's very healthy and has had COVID, I'm not sure about taking that shit. That's just my personal preference. I don't care if I don't get on your airplanes. I don't care if I go to your stores to eat or, shopping malls or whatever. I don't care because you know what I got? I got this right here. Want something to eat? It's coming to my door. I want a couch? Wayfair, you got just what I need. I want to, go to the movies. Who cares? Who goes to the movies? It's here. I mean, you created this, and then you think that you're going to hurt people by saying you can't do this or can't do this. Maybe you'll hurt a few of people, and they're like, oh my God, I can't go eat at the Applebee's tonight. Well, we can sit in our backyard and we can eat all the Applebee's we want. No problem. They can leave it at the door. Bring it right to me, buddy. I'm more comfortable at home anyway. So it's kind of pathetic for all of that shit anyway. But so anyway, back to the messaging. He's saying, that this is poor messaging. The whole thing is about poor messaging, which I kind of agree a little bit. First of all, you shouldn't have called it a vaccine. You should have called it a therapeutic aid or something else. Using the word vaccine is pretty heavy duty, and if it's not going to work, then, that's kind of, I don't know, because it doesn't work all the time. You know what I mean? It doesn't, and we all know that now. It's not a secret. We all know this. I mean, we're not allowed to talk about it, but we know this. We all know somebody that's been double vaccinated and has gotten COVID. We all know that person. I mean, I know several of them, actually, that have been vaccinated and they got COVID and they're sick. I mean, I don't know personally anybody in the hospital, but I know they are in the hospital, but I don't know anybody personally, so I can't say that. So his message is the mandate. When you mandate and you force people to do this, you're going to get the hard asses that are like, no, you're not going to force me to do that. And, nobody likes to be forced to do anything. When you make it, when you says, I've given you guys enough chance and I'm going to now come after you and blah, 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 this, man, people don't take kind of threats and, they're just, maybe we're making it worse because you're making it worse, but there's all these political games behind it too. You know what I mean? They love the lockdowns. They love the control. I mean, they really, really love the control, you know? Like the rules for thee and not for me. Like, mostly there's a bunch of governors in this great, wonderful nation that we have that have told you that you can't go to anywhere without a mask. And yet these people get caught time and time again at these huge parties with no mask, knowing that vaccinated people can spread COVID too. Okay. So what kind of message does that send? And when you're telling somebody that they have to do it, it's not really a way to coerce the person to do it. You might want to try to reach the person to find out why he doesn't want to take it. Is it because he feels he's immune? I mean, shouldn't we, instead of giving these vaccine passports, shouldn't we be making immunization passports? Why not? If I had COVID already and I can prove that I have the antibodies, because it's provable, why do I have to take the vaccine? If I can prove that. Okay. And then you got, places that will say, oh, you can only come in if you're vaccinated. And if you're unvaccinated, you can't come in. Well, if I could prove that I had COVID and I've got the antibodies, why shouldn't I be able to come in? Or a PCR test 72 hours before it, I'm okay with that too. So my PCR test is worth 20 times more than your vaccine passport. Do you know why? Because I just got tested and it told you, no, you don't have it. You haven't been tested ever since you took that shot and you could still have it. And that's a fact. And it's just escapes people, the messaging. Like, it's a fact. We should concern ourselves with more of the immunization part than the vaccine part. But I don't want to go off on that tangent. I told you I have a lot of things that I'd like to talk about today. So I'm going to continue. Okay, now we're going to go on to our wonderful southern border. What a beautiful southern border we have. It's nice down there. But there's a lot of problems going on down there that we have created. I got to give it to the people of Haiti. Those 15,000 people. I don't know how you did it. But I really need you to train me. Because I need to learn the ways of the master. How the hell did you 15,000 people walk across that ocean and end up on our southern border from Haiti? I'm blown away by it. I'm completely blown away by it. It is the craziest thing I've ever heard. But it's got to be real. So, they're there. So, hey, whatever. So we're going to continue with this southern border thing. And this is going to go back into your weak ass GOP worm scum. The GOP now that we have, maybe we could change it, like I said, but as of right now, it's worm-like, spineless amoeba. Oh, it's terrible. Well, anyway, you got 15,000 Haitians that just ran across the Rio Grande. They're living underneath a bridge in Texas. They seem to have cell phones, everyone, and somewhere to charge them every day. I don't know how they're charging their cell phones if they're running away and there's no electricity. But they all got a fucking iPhone 12 and shit. That's fucking amazing to me. But whatever. I'm nobody. I don't know nothing about that. But that's some crazy shit. So your press secretary, the Jen Psaki, I'll circle back to you, bitch. The one that cannot answer a question properly. She's probably the worst press secretary I've ever seen, because she just can't answer any questions correctly, or she evades and eludes the question pretty well. Anyway, she's sitting back and they're asking her, people that get off of planes and stuff like that and that are coming into the country, we're checking them for their COVID paperwork or stuff like this. But the people at the border We're just looking to see if they got symptoms. What? What? And you're busting these people all over the country and military planing them in here and driving them in there and taking them charter buses all over the country, but you're just looking for symptoms. Tell me how serious you are about this COVID thing, because you're not fucking serious about it. You're not. It's a political fucking tool. At this point, it has become such a political tool that we have lost the ability to even try to fight COVID now. We don't want to fight COVID. We don't want to eradicate it because it's a necessary tool now to keep people under control. If you're serious about COVID, you'd be serious about those people down at the border, and you're not, so stop your shit. You want to tell me that I can't go eat in a goddamn diner with antibodies in my blood system, but these people can get bussed all over the country, no fucking problem. Not even knowing they got COVID or not. Just move along. We're looking to see if you have symptoms, but we all know it takes 14 days. And like, what the fuck are these people doing down over there? I mean, come on. And then you have the Homeland Security guy come up and goes, our borders are closed. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. We all know that's bullshit. We can all tell by the Fox News fucking drone. There's some dude on Fox News that has a drone and he's been flying it all over the place. The fucking, the air people that, I think it's the FCC and not the FCC, the FAA. These people told him, you got to get that drone down. You got to take that drone down right now. We can't have no drones flying around here. Why can't you have any drones flying around here? Because you can actually see what the fuck's happening? You don't want nobody to see what the fuck is happening. It's out of control down there to the point where you're secretly going to have to send some military down there to kind of get it under control because it is a crisis situation. It is bad down there. Bad. And we don't want to talk about it. We don't care about the COVID down there. We don't care about the COVID at the Hollywood parties. We don't care the COVID at presidential parties with hundreds of people. We don't care about COVID in certain situations. This is the bad messaging. This is the total bad messaging. You can't tell me that you give a fuck about COVID and do that. Get the fuck out of here. It is the biggest joke, and you know it. We all know it. I mean, common sense people know it. But nobody's going to do anything about it. Nobody's going to do anything about it. My only hope is I'm starting to see a lot of these young kids. Like, you know, in their early 20s. Man, everybody wants to be a rebel. Isn't it the greatest fucking thing when you're young and you want to be a rebel? If everybody's saying this, it doesn't even matter. You just want to be a rebel to be a rebel. That's what's happening right now. With the chance of fuck Joe Biden in every college football stadium in America. It is wonderful to hear that, to see that. At points, they can't even tell what it's going to happen, and they can't cut away. It's in your face. These are the young kids that are tired of being locked up, tired of being told what to do, what to say. I'm just loving it because the tighter your fucking grip, the more sand you lose, and you're losing them kids of sand. You're losing those kids. You are going to give birth to the most conservative generation of all time because of your tactics. Bet me on that one. Your conspiracy theory friend has been right a lot of times, and I'm right on this one too. There are so many people that are waking up to your crap. Not woke, awake. Difference. Awake is much different than being woke. You can't be in woke because that's the craziness. That's the rise of nuts. Anyway, a lot of these kids are awake. A lot of these movie stars, like Nicki Minaj was saying, a lot of her peers in her industry are saying the same thing, but they're terrified to talk because you know what? They're going to get canceled and they're going to lose everything. While you're sitting back and losing everything. Spineless worms, invertebrates, maggots, insect-like. Almost definitely. A reckoning is coming. It'll be here. I don't think I'll ever live to see it. It's going to have to go so bad to the point where they're going to just have to. They're going to get to the point where they'll do something stupid that'll cross, a line. They've already crossed lines. You even have vaccinated people that are going, whoa, man. Hey, man, back up. Back up. The worst thing you could ever hear is, hi, I'm the government and I'm here to help. That is the goddamn worst thing you could ever hear. You already know you're fucked at that point. So, how do we fix this? How do we really fix this? I'm going to tell you how we really fix this. There's only one way to fix it. You have to reclaim the Republican Party from these people that caused the whole problem. You can't reelect these fucking guys. Their time is over. They're just collecting a lifetime paycheck on you. While at the same time, they're going to dinner with Nancy Pelosi tonight. They don't care. She don't care. None of them care about you. Get your head out of your ass. No political gang cares one fucking bit about you and your livelihood and what's going to happen to you. That's crazy to even think that kind of stuff. So another thing. We all heard of this woman, Joy Reid. She is a reporter for one of the media monopolies, MSNBC, which is trash, straight garbage, propaganda galore, just like the rest of them. Now this woman, oh my God. She just said on national TV about that missing girl. What's her name? Gabby Petito. This is her response to what this is all about. Now, this girl's been missing. They're presumably murdered. There's been a lot of news about her. And Joy Reid says the focus on Gabby Petito is missing white woman syndrome. Could you have any more of a racist comment than that? I don't know how many shows Joy Reid has done on missing people. I'll give you the answer. It's none. Before, but, this woman comes out constantly and says the most racially charged shit out of her mind. And then she comes from a position that a few years ago, not even a few years ago, maybe a year ago, somebody went back through her Twitter feed and she has the most homophobic shit that would make you fucking cringe. That would make you go, oh my God, wow, you fucking bigot. Her excuse was, while it was there, I was hacked. They hacked me and they planted a message 3 years ago, 4 years ago in there. I don't know how they did it. Okay, Joy, you're probably all right. You're probably right. Man, that is the fucking biggest bullshit. She is one of the biggest racist bigots that you guys let get away with on the air. And I just want to call her out for what she is. Well, thank you again for tuning in to another edition of Moving Forward with Dave. I know this one was a long one. We had a lot to say tonight. But sometimes it happens like that. Like I said, if you like what's going on, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Turn this on to a friend of yours that, might dig this type of content. Like I said, I don't do this for monetary reasons or any other likes or followers. I do this because this is the only way that I can physically fight back with my voice in a proper manner. So, like I said, if you're digging this kind of content, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace out.